something out of it. When he died, it was kind of a thing between me and him. She was an uncompromising bitch. I was trying to be something that I had been. Hey, I found out she's 26. So I can do 26.
You picked a fine time to leave me, you see.
Kenny Rogers has been entertaining his millions of fans for over 50 years.
The name Kenny Rogers is like Elvis. I mean, you're not going to ever forget Kenny Rogers, and he's a wonderful human being.
He's a classic. He's in there with all the guys who do it till the day they die.
Everybody knows Kenny. Everybody knows that voice.
Lady.
Everybody's a fan. He's the amalgamation of American music.
He's an American icon. He's an international icon.
He's sold over 120 million records, had 24 #1 hits on dozens of platinum and gold albums, and won countless awards from a grateful industry.
And she believes in me. I'll never know just what she sees in me.
His songs have become an essential thread of America's musical fabric. They're not only sung at weddings and anniversaries, the lyrics are even etched in tombstones. He is quite simply a superstar legend known around the world.
I think Kenny Rogers is one of the greatest singers I've ever heard.
Someone asked me how I developed my style of singing. I said, if you do something and people say they don't like it, you quit doing it. If you do it enough and people say, I like it when you do that, then you do it on every song.
I'm amazed how he can do that. I've practiced. Can never do that.
Kenny Rogers attained a popularity in the 70s and 80s that's difficult to envision today. His celebrity took country music to a new level of acceptance.
During the 80s, that's what made country music worldwide.
This is the fellow that took it to the next level.
Kenny Rogers was the first country act to really take country music to arenas and to stadiums.
Kenny had the #1 country album for 2 years.
That is the essence of Kenny Rogers, the guy who always delivers under pressure, who takes his game up, and is the consummate professional.
Kenny stepped up his game once again in the summer of 2012. At the age of 73, he decided to introduce his music to yet another new audience. He appeared at the Bonnaroo Music Festival, one of the premier rock events in America, a 4-day celebration attended primarily by an under-30 crowd. It was another gamble for the singer known as the Gambler.
Yeah, we're wondering what the crowd reaction would be like, and the crowd went crazy.
To hear them chant, Kenny. I mean, he just had the biggest smile when he came off stage. It was just so rewarding to him. I think he really enjoyed it.
I don't know how it happened, but it was a great choice for him to do it, and I went back and watched the video of it. I thought it was awesome.
The highlight at Bonnaroo, however, may have been Kenny's appearance with Fish. The guys from one of America's premier jam bands invited their hero to join in on a version of what else? The Gambler.
You got to know when to hold, know when to fold, know when to walk away, know when to run.
He is American music. He is country. He is rock and roll. He is pop. He's Kenny Rogers. He defies categories.
Well, here's what I learned about the business. All the people that loved my music when they were young have kids.
Kenny Rogers recently completed an autobiography entitled Luck or something like it. It's a fascinating look at one of the most acclaimed careers in all of show business. It's a backstory that begins in a very humble setting, the housing projects of Houston in the midst of the Great Depression.
When I grew up, I came from a family that had nothing. I went to school with holes in my jeans.
He came out of a housing project in Houston, and it was 8 kids living in one room when they had one room.
Obviously, you have to look back and recognize that if you've got that many kids living in federal projects, that you're poor. And that's kind of how that works.
Kenny was the fourth of Floyd and Lucille Rogers' 8 children. His dad was a working man who struggled with alcohol problems all his life.
I've come to grips with all that because I think that my dad drank because of the depression. I think that he got caught up at a time when there was no work. He couldn't provide for his family properly. And he just escaped it by doing that. And I don't think I was smart enough 12 or 13 to realize the reasons for it. The great thing about my dad, two things I'll say. He was never an abusive father. And that he stayed with my mom the whole time. And I think there's a value that people don't understand to having that, having a father in your life.
Despite the family's poverty, they often turned to music for diversion. Kenny's father, Floyd, played the fiddle and passed on his love of music to the rest of the family. Kenny's mother, however, didn't possess those same talents.
My mom was the worst singer I have ever heard in my life. I used to move away from her in church because she embarrassed me. She not only sang badly, she sang loud. And I mean, she was determined to let people hear her. But my dad played fiddle. And we used to get in the back of the pickup truck and we would drive up to Apple Springs, Texas for the weekend, and all the kids would sit in the front yard in the dirt, and my aunts and uncles would be on the porch and they would play. And I think that was a great part of my influence too, just seeing my dad do that.
As the musical influence of his father continued to shape Kenny's young mind, his mother's strict views on church attendance inspired him in other ways.
When I was a kid, my mom took us to church 3 days a week. I mean, we got more church than we knew what to do with. And I remember one day, we lived in San Felipe Courts, which was a project in Houston, and it was separated from the black community by a cyclone fence. And there was this little black church, a gospel church, right literally 50 yards from the road. And we were standing out there waiting on our church bus one Christmas, and they started singing something like, Away in a Manger, Oh Holy Night, whatever it was. And I went, wow. We're all doing the same songs, but boy, do they sound different. So it was such an epiphany for me as to what was available. And I think that's why I gravitated to Ray Charles so much.
At 12, he was taken to see Ray Charles perform. And it was at that moment he went, that's what I want to do.
Who wouldn't want to do that? They laughed at everything he said. They clapped for everything he sang. And so, I mean, that's what I chose to do. And I'm so thrilled. And he and I became pretty good friends after a while. And I remember asking him one time, I said, Ray, tell me something. How do you know when to sing those little licks? He said, Kenny, if you got to think about it, they're wrong. And it was great advice.
Coming up,
I will be happy to be her father if you stay out of her life.
This At Home with GAC is brought to you by the Home Depot. Johnny and Colleen McKay love their home in the Blue Ridge Mountains, but are trying to pinch pennies anywhere they can.
Looking at our power bill, I know that there's some things that we could definitely do to bring the costs down.
An efficient home can mean big savings for any family. Cut water use without affecting pressure by installing a faucet aerator. Keep heat outside in the summer with stylish cellular window blinds. Switch out your thermostat to a programmable model. Unplug appliances between uses. Motion sensor dimmers know when a room is empty and turn lights off automatically. When your lights are on, natural sunlight CFL light bulbs keep costs low and need replacement less often.
It feels great to know that you're doing everything you can for your family budget and to know that you're doing everything you can for the environment.
This At Home with GAC is brought to you by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
A winter wonderland doesn't just happen. It takes some doing, some coordinating, and a trip to the one place with the new ideas that help us pull it all together. From the things that hang and shine to the things that sparkle and jingle. All while saving the things that go in our wallet. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Get fresh cut savings. Live trees are arriving weekly.
This holiday season, Ziploc celebrates giving with style. For the freshest goodies with the freshest holiday look. The limited edition Ziploc Holiday Collection. Available now.
S.C. Johnson.
You can't leave the table till you finish your vegetables.
There's a better way. V8 Fusion. Vegetable nutrition they need, fruit taste they love. Could have had a V8. Or try kids boxes.
You don't disappear at midnight. And now you've met your match.
Revlon Color Stay 16-hour eyeshadow. 64 colors that will take you from night to day without smudging, creasing, or fading away.
I am not a vegetarian. Yeah, I might have ears like a rabbit, but I want to eat meat.
Iams knows dogs love meat, but most dry foods add plant protein, like gluten. Iams never adds gluten. Iams adds 50% more animal protein.
Look at me. I'm a lean, mean, flying machine. I am too. Woohoo!
Iams, with 50% more animal protein.
I'm an Iams dog for life, not a rabbit. Woof.
We go laughing all the way. Sally's singing again. It's a tradition, honey. Spirits bright. What fun it is to...
Make new traditions with Pillsbury Grand Cinnamon Rolls.
How does it feel to try smooth, delicious Hershey's chocolate with 30% less fat? Hershey's Simple Pleasures chocolate. 30% less fat, 100% delicious.
The holidays are here, and that means falling prices at Rent-A-Center. Right now, get a Samsung 43-inch plasma TV or a 5-piece bedroom set. Your choice, just $780. And with the Rack Flex plan, everyone's pre-approved for 90 days, same as cash.
Carrie Underwood's hit album, Blown Away, featuring the smash singles Good Girl, Blown Away, and Two Black Cadillacs. Kenny Chesney, Welcome to the Fishbowl, featuring the hits Feel Like a Rock Star, Come Over, and El Cerrito Place. Miranda Lambert's ACM Album of the Year, For the Record, features the hits Baggage Claim, Over You, and Fastest Girl in Town. Carrie Underwood, Kenny Chesney, and Miranda Lambert, each album available now.
While you're in the voting groove, keep it going to celebrate a year of great music and the chance at a really fat wallet with GAC's Top 50 Videos of the Year sweepstakes. Just go to GACTV.com, vote for your 50 favorite videos of the past year, and enter for your chance to win. One grand prize winner will pocket $50,000. The GAC Top 50 Videos of the Year sweepstakes. Brought to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the perfect combination of chocolate and peanut butter.
Growing up in the housing projects of Houston, Kenny Rogers' childhood was an unlikely start down the road toward his musical destiny. But by his teenage years, Kenny had already developed a strong singing voice and harbored dreams of pursuing a career in music. In high school, he sang with a local group known as the Scholars, which gained some attention in the Houston area. But Kenny's desire to help support his struggling family soon overtook his musical aspirations. I wanted to play music, but most of what I was doing then were sock hops and things. I wasn't making any money at music. And I really wanted to go to college for my parents. And plus all the girls I'd gone to school with were now going to college. So I kind of followed the girls wherever they were. But I went to college. I think I thought I went 2 semesters. My mom said I went 2 weeks, so pick one. When college didn't pan out, Kenny recommitted himself to his musical ambitions. Helped by his older brother Leland, who had achieved some success in the music industry, Kenny landed a small record deal and scored a hit song at the age of 19. It was a remarkable accomplishment for the brothers, made possible by Leland's knack for making deals.
Leland was a street guy. He was a street hustler. There's no other. Leland would rather steal $1 than make one. I mean, that was just his deal. He worked for Roulette Records and all those mafia people up north, and he just loved it.
Leland was the one who pushed him, promoted him, managed him in the early days.
I want to give him all the credit he deserves. He really got me started in the music business.
With Leland at the helm of Kenny's fledgling career, the single gained airplay in Houston, and Kenny was invited to appear on a local television show. When Kenny informed the host of the show that he wanted to be introduced as Kenneth Rogers I, the host balked.
He said, "You can't do that. That name is too thick. So we need something streamlined." He said, "How about Kenny?" I said, "Please, I don't want that." So he goes out and he entered, "Ladies and gentlemen, please say welcome and thank you to Kenny Rogers." And all the little girls clapped. I said, "I can live with Kenny. I can live with that."
Kenny's fondness for females soon landed him in a difficult situation, however, when his girlfriend, Janice Gordon, discovered she was pregnant with Kenny's child. Although the young couple quickly married, it was a troubled relationship from the start. Kenny and Janice separated shortly after the birth of their daughter, Carol.
I mean, I really loved her, and I loved being married. I think her mother felt I'd ruined her daughter's life, and she couldn't wait to get her out of my grasp. I kept trying to talk to her on the phone, and one day I called her and I said, "Janice, let's get together and let's go talk about this for Carol's sake." And she said, just a second, she came back and said, "My mother won't let me go? And I said, well, tell your mother hello, because I'm gone. And I can shut doors, you know. Once she told me that, I knew it was a waste of time.
After a marriage of less than 2 years, Kenny and Janice were divorced. Shortly thereafter, Janice remarried and asked Kenny to allow their daughter Carol to be adopted by her new husband. Uncertain of what was best for his baby girl, Kenny agreed.
That was a strange situation. It was one where my first wife's high school sweetheart, and thank God for him, came along and said, hey, I will be happy to be her father if you stay out of her life. And I said, I will do that. And so, you know, those are decisions that you make, and I made it, and I've stayed out of her life, so he was there, and he stood up for her.
I didn't actually know about Carol until I was probably 20. Her son is the same age, or about a year younger, as my son, and they're actually very close friends. So it all kind of comes back around. Family finds each other again.
With his ex-wife and baby girl settled into a stable family, Kenny's determination to succeed in music was once again the driving force of his young life. When a well-known blind pianist named Bobby Doyle heard Kenny sing one night, he was impressed with Kenny's tenor harmonies and asked him to join his new jazz trio, the Bobby Doyle 3. It would be Kenny's musical home for several years.
It was a great time for me because I learned all that music from the 30s and 40s, and it was fundamentally so sound musically, and the group was so exceptional. The best people in the business worked across the street at the Shamrock Hotel, and they all came in at night after the show. And I mean, Tony Bennett used to come in and sing with us when he was there every night, and that gave me a sense of pride that I hadn't had before that.
During his years with Bobby Doyle, Kenny became a skilled jazz musician and singer respected by his peers. Unfortunately, Kenny's skills with long-term relationships were less successful. His second attempt at marriage, this time to Jean Massey, ended almost as soon as it started.
She was a beautiful girl, but maybe I just worked too much. I don't know, but that marriage went by the wayside, and she married our divorce attorney, so we all got something out of it.
And less than a year later, Kenny began his third marriage to Margot Anderson.
Yeah, you can't say I'm afraid of commitment.
Shortly after Kenny married Margot, the Bobby Doyle trio disbanded, and Kenny was looking for a new gig. A friend arranged for him to audition with a nationally known folk group, the New Christy Minstrels. It might be the strangest audition any singer ever had.
I auditioned for them on a telephone in the lobby of the Houston Air Hotel.
We're on the road, and I'm in a phone booth on the side of a road.
I found myself singing, green, green, it's green, they say.
How high can you go?
And he's singing higher. Green, green.
And can you go louder?
No, louder. Green.
He said, Mike, he said, I'm here in the lobby of a hotel, and people are looking at me like I'm nuts.
He said, okay, you got the job. Be here Monday.
Now with a new job and a new young son, Kenny Rogers Jr., the ever-adaptable Kenny Rogers began his third musical incarnation, this time as a folk singer in the New Christy Minstrels. His folk era would be short-lived, however. Members of the group soon decided to form a new band with a more pop-rock sound. Kenny, always confident in his ability, wanted to be included.
Mike Settle, Thelma Camacho, and Terry Williams were probably in their early 20s. And I was 32 years old. And they said, well, we really were kind of thinking about somebody younger.
He didn't have the look that I at first thought would be fit with the current music of the time.
And I said, wait, I can be younger, I swear. So I literally grew my hair out, put an earring in my ear, and got those rose-colored glasses.
And he looked more contemporary than any of us.
And then they said, okay, you'll do. So it was, you know, it was really a wonderful transformation for me, too.
They named the new band the First Edition, and Kenny began to emerge as its vocal leader with a 1967 psychedelic song that matched his new look. Kenny's 15-year journey from doo-wop to jazz to folk to rock hit a sweet note when Just Dropped In became a top 10 hit. Coming up,
I took the earring out and got rid of the glasses, and I felt like I kind of found myself again.
Make holiday shipping easier with priority mail flat rate shipping only from the Postal Service. A simpler way to ship. Visit USPS.com/holiday.
Cool, you found it. Wow, nice place. Yeah, the family thinks I'm out shipping these.
Smooth move. You use priority mail flat rate boxes. If it fits, it ships for a low flat rate. Paid for postage online and arranged a free pickup.
And I'm going to track them online, too. Nice. Between those boxes and this place, I'm totally staying sane this year.
Do I smell snickerdoodles?
Maybe. Gotta go.
Priority mail flat rate boxes. Online pricing starts at $5.15. Only from the Postal Service.
Longhorn Steakhouse knows after the checkered flag, these guys didn't go eat quiche. That's why at Longhorn, we do steak and we do steak right. Like our stuffed fillets, stuffed and topped with lobster or with bacon and cheddar. Longhorn Steakhouse, you can't fake steak.
Hey there! Hi there! Hi there! Did I surprise you?
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, I'm surprised you're getting that brand of tomato. They're peeled with chemicals.
What?
Hunt's is the only leading brand that uses flash steam to peel their tomatoes. The steam is made with...
Water?
You're a genius.
I'm gonna taste it and I'll be the judge of that. Ooh, look at you.
Good stuff, right? Very good.
You made that?
That's delicious.
That's Hunt's?
That's Hunt's. Isn't it time to take a fresh look at your tomatoes?
This year, bring their wish list to life.
Switch to OxyClean. Add the power of oxygen to every load to boost your detergent and remove stains better than the leading liquid. It also tackles tough carpet stains and odors too. OxyClean. It gets the tough stains out.
Your vote counts every week on GAC's Top 20 Country Countdown. Friday at 8, 7 Central on GAC. GAC's Top 20 is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops Santa's Wonderland. Time passes. Hold on to Christmas.
Over the last several months, we've been talking with everyone who has Medicare about the money-saving health plans from Humana. These are all-in-one plans that combine medical and prescription drug coverage, all with an affordable monthly health plan premium that may surprise you. If you have a separate drug plan with Original Medicare or with a Medicare supplement, you could be getting more benefits and saving money with Humana's Medicare health plans. Could Humana be a better value for your health care dollar? Call 1-877-710-4195 or go online to HumanaFreeBook.com and get this free booklet that will help you decide if our all-in-one plans are right for you. More than 1 million people have made the call and are enjoying Humana's all-in-one Medicare plans. The facts you need are in the book, and it's totally free. Call 1-877-710-4195 or go to HumanaFreeBook.com.
Watch Farm Kings, Thursdays at 9 on GAC.
By 1970, Kenny Rogers was in the midst of his fourth musical incarnation and his most successful to date, the first edition. His top 5 rendition of Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town put the band on the map. It also put the name Kenny Rogers out front for the first time, as the group became known as Kenny Rogers and the First Edition.
I was a huge fan of Kenny's at that time, and I certainly was no baby. I was younger than him a little bit, but I loved the group.
I love that music. I love the First Edition. That's probably my favorite catalog of anything that he's done.
Still need some company.
Unfortunately, the group struggled with personality conflicts, creative disputes, and touring debt. And by 1975, they called it quits. Kenny's run at the big time seemed over. He was creeping up on 40, out of work and saddled with debt. As if that wasn't enough, Kenny's third marriage to Margot was also coming to a bitter end.
She was a great girl. We had a good time, but she and I had our differences, you know. When it was good, it was great. When it was bad, it was horrific. And I talk about that in the book. I said I have to pick and choose my words carefully. I hope you can hear this. Because she is the mother of my son, but she was an uncompromising bitch. So I chose my words carefully.
It was just basically my dad was a traveling musician, so he wasn't there a lot anyway, and then one day he didn't live there either.
I was so driven to be successful that I let selfishness creep into my life. I will take responsibility for that. I'll take the blame. I was gone way too much.
While he was dealing with divorce, debt, and a career dead end, Kenny's father passed away as well. Like all sons, Kenny wanted his father's approval, but alcohol and hard times had complicated the relationship for years.
My dad used to love money for me and my brother. So when we'd go down there, I'd give him $10 or something. So my brother and I'd be down there, and he'd say, "Is this going to be a $10 or a $20 visit?" So I remember my brother told him one day, says, "Daddy," said, "let me ask you something. Would you rather," he said, "I spent $150 getting out here from L.A. I had to rent a car, come up here to see you, took you and Mom to dinner, probably spent $250. Would you rather I just not come and send you the money?" And he said, "Oh, God, son, don't make me make that choice." And that was so typical. So when he died, it was kind of a thing between me and him. I put $20 in his pocket. I assume it's still there.
With personal sadness and career troubles piling up, Kenny realized he had to do whatever it took to dig himself out of the hole he was in. When someone offered him a job as a late-night fast-talking pitchman on TV, Kenny took a deep breath and said yes.
Hi, I'm Kenny Rogers, and I feel like singing a sad song for all those guitars that are gathering dust in the closet. I'd like to tell you about a new home guitar course that doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. This is not available in stores. This course is yours for only $6.95 through the special TV offer. So why don't you have fun, too? With the quick picking, fun strumming, home guitar course. All you need is desire. The course will do the rest. Here's how you can order.
His career was slowly ebbing away. Kenny assessed his long-term goals and found that the image he developed in the first edition wasn't working anymore. So once again, the artist began to reinvent himself.
That character coming out of the 60s that didn't fly in the 70s, you know. So I knew I had to do something, but I didn't know what.
The group had broken up. He wasn't a solo artist at that point, and he really didn't know what to do.
We were really a country group. You look at Ruby Don't Take Your Love to Town, Reuben James, and there's a whole bunch of other songs that were really country songs. So I felt I had some credibility in country music. And when I came to town, I met Larry Butler, and Larry said, I want to cut you as a country artist."
With the support of Larry Butler, a successful producer and head of United Artists, Kenny moved to Nashville and began yet another musical transformation, this time for good. The move to country music would herald a season of professional success and personal stability that had eluded Kenny for much of his life, due in large part to a beautiful actress named Marianne Gordon.
Moving to Nashville was also a very big life-changing experience for Kenny because that's where he met Marianne Rogers, or she became Marianne Rogers.
I moved to Nashville and met her and fell in love with her.
She was just killer to look at, very sweet, and I had known her from the hee-haw days.
One of the nicest, sweetest women ever, and that made a major difference at that point in terms of giving him confidence, giving him some purpose, that he was doing things not just for himself, but for her.
The upswing in Kenny's personal life also had an impact on his songwriting, perhaps most strikingly on Sweet Music Man, a song he'd written for someone else, but one that became somewhat autobiographical.
Sing your song, Sweet Music Man. Travel the world with a six-piece band that does for you what you ask them to.
And you try to stay young, but the songs you've sung have all begun to come back on you. I mean, there's a lot of wisdom, more than I'm really capable of. That was kind of a catharsis for me.
I think Sweet Music Man's probably the best thing he's ever written.
Shortly after I wrote that, my hair, I took the earring out and got rid of the glasses. And I felt like I kind of found myself again. Because I was pretending, I was trying to be something that I had been and make that successful. And I knew the only way I was going to be successful again was to recreate myself.
You picked a fine time to leave me, Lucy, with 4 hungry children and a crop in the field.
Kenny Rogers recreated himself for the 5th time and found his true musical identity, as evidenced by the sensational success of Lucille, an international phenomenon.
That was a classic country song and took country music to a new level.
When they put out Lucille, life changed.
Time to leave me, Lucy.
The #1 country hit and #5 crossover would go on to win both Single of the Year and Song of the Year in 1977 CMAs, and forever establish Kenny Rogers as a legitimate country singer. But perhaps no song has been more closely identified with Kenny Rogers than The Gambler.
On a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, I met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep.
There's something so timeless about The Gambler. I still hear people quote, you got to know when to hold them, you got to know when to fold them.
That's what makes the song so good. It's not about gambling. It's about a philosophy of life, Keep things in perspective. Know when to hold them, know when to walk away, know when to get the hell out of Dodge. And I think that's what it's all about. That's why it was so successful worldwide.
It was the perfect marriage of a song and a great voice and a great persona. He knew what to do with that song. He knew how to tell that story.
You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. You're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done.
Coming up.
Everybody thought there was something there.
They just think that we're a couple.
The secret to surviving.
If Golden Corral charges one low price for their new sirloin filet, plus you could get seconds or more.
We're going to Golden Corral! Our new non-stop USDA sirloin filets are steakhouse amazing and grilled just the way you like. Plus our endless shrimp, only at Golden Corral.
Imagine a lozenge with the power of Delsum to help silence your cough and soothe sore throats. Introducing Delsum Cough Relief Plus lozenges. It's a new day for soothing sore throats and silencing coughs. Delsum, silence is relief.
When you have a technology as innovative as Double Drive, you look for new ways to put it to work. Check out Cobalt's new Double Drive ratchet. Works like any standard ratchet until you twist the handle and engage the double drive. And as you twist it forward and backward, it drives continuously. And the Double Drive ratchet drives twice as fast as a standard ratchet. The Double Drive ratchet comes with Cobalt's unique power of 1 sockets. 1 socket fits both standard and metric sizes and works on traditional hex bolts, square, 8-point, 12-point, spline, and star bolts.
Cobalt just reinvented the ratchet with Double Drive. It works like any ratcheting driver until you twist the handle, and Double Drive doubles your speed. Double Drive fits any 3/8-inch sockets. It's great for working in tight places, and it's a great gift. Buy today and you'll get the Double Drive ratchet, 6 power of 1 sockets, driver adapter, and 12 driver bits. And when you buy online or by phone, you'll get 50 extra driver bits and this roll-up bag that stores your entire set exclusively at Lowe's.
Hey, Cloud. Why so low? Did you miss breakfast again?
Yeah, I'm a little foggy right now.
Here, try this. A Jimmy Dean sandwich. It'll pick you right up. All better?
Oh, yeah.
Fuel your great days with a balanced breakfast with protein. Jimmy Dean, shine on.
When you share McCormick, you share more than just great baking. From cinnamon to vanilla and everything in between. Let McCormick flavor everything you bake this Christmas. McCormick, live deliciously.
That's a cool smartphone.
Yeah, and you can get it with Virgin Mobile's plan. $35 a month with unlimited data and messaging included.
With all the web surfing I want?
Yeah.
Sounds like a data buffet.
An all-you-can-eat data buffet?
And you know who would love our all-you-can-eat data buffet?
Big Lucy.
Big Lucy? Are you hungry for all the data?
Get the season's hottest smartphones, like the Kia Rise, and get Virgin Mobile with unlimited data and messaging included for just $35 a month. From America's Gift Headquarters, Walmart.
Do it again, girl. Wow, now that is what I'm talking about. Oh, God! No, they didn't!
Are you obsessed with shoes? Then you'll love JustFab.com. Our style experts handpick fabulous shoes that are right for you.
How much?
$39.95. For $39.95, you get a pair of shoes, personal stylist, and free shipping. Buy one, get one free. Now at JustFab.com.
Now, Mega Lash Volume goes Mega Plush. Bye-bye, Brittle. New Volume Express Mega Plush from Maybelline, New York. Our first gel mousse mascara for Mega Lush lashes, soft to the touch. New Mega Plush Mascara, only from Maybelline.
In the late 1970s, Kenny Rogers was sitting on top of the American music world. Having worked his way through several musical incarnations, Kenny had found his true calling in country and was supplying a steady stream of #1 hits. He'd also found true love after 3 failed marriages, this time to beautiful actress Marianne Gordon. Their fairy tale love story would also produce a son, Christopher.
They were the perfect couple, actually. I mean, it was magical.
They were America's couple, and Christopher was America's kid.
This perfect couple had the perfect child, and it really was like a fairy tale.
Kenny's worldwide popularity afforded him a lifestyle few country artists had ever dreamed of. The poor kid from Houston learned to enjoy the good life in Los Angeles, especially when it came to housing.
This house was the largest house in Los Angeles. It was 50,000 square feet.
At one time, it was the largest single-family dwelling that was still occupied by a single family in the United States.
Her closet was 3,500 square feet. Her closet.
He's funny like that. He has a tendency to get a lot more square footage than he needs. And I think it might go back to growing up with 8 brothers and sisters and living in the projects.
They were grand, and they lived it.
It was a great time in my life, and I had come from nothing to have all of that. So if I've got it, I'm going to enjoy it.
For the next decade, Kenny did indeed enjoy his explosive fame and expanding fortune. The hit singles that seemed to be an endless supply spawned platinum sales that are hard to grasp even today. And when The Gambler became a long-running TV miniseries, it seemed there was no area of the entertainment world that Kenny Rogers couldn't conquer.
There's a certain point at which careers, big careers, can reach critical mass and just take off. And that happened in the early 80s with Kenny. And he really became one of, if not the biggest star in the world.
When you look at how much product we put out and how many records we sold in that 8 or 10 year period, it is staggering.
One album that sold platinum every month for 12 consecutive months. It got to be silly.
We went out and worked a couple of venues that seat 60,000 people. We do 2 shows a day, 3 days a week.
Everything we did seemed to work.
Gaining confidence with every staggering success, Kenny began looking outside the country world for new partnerships. His decades of experience in other genres and deep love of R&B shifted his focus toward the songs of another successful artist, Lionel Richie of the Commodores.
When I listened to 3 Times a Lady with the Commodores, and Still, and all those songs, I thought, wow. Because I go back to my contention that Ray Charles took country music and sang it R&B. So I thought, well, what if I take R&B music and sing it country?
Lady, the mega hit penned and produced by Lionel Richie, became an international crossover sensation, never before seen by the country music industry. It would launch a lifelong friendship and many years of successful collaboration between the two superstars.
Kenny Rogers, right in the middle of the American Music Awards, said, I'd like to thank Lionel Richie for writing the song for me. And that camera came over his shoulder and picked me up on stage, and my second lifetime began.
Lionel Richie wasn't the only one who benefited from Kenny's Midas touch in the 80s. Duets with Dottie West, Kim Carnes, and Sheena Easton recharged their careers and kept Kenny soaring. But it was his work with producer Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees that would lead to one of the most celebrated partnerships of Kenny's career.
We were working on Islands in the Stream. I must have sung that song for 4 days. And we were in L.A., and I finally turned to Barry and said, you know what, Barry, I don't even like this song anymore. And he said, I swear, it was like an epiphany. He said, we need Dolly Parton. It's like he must have been thinking about it too. And I said, well, I don't really know Dolly. I met her once before, but I think Ken Cragen had just run into her on the street. So Ken said she gave me her phone number.
I had a little apartment right up the hill from Lionshire Records, where it was Kenny's studio, and they were down there doing that record, and I spent time in L.A., but not just tons and tons of time, because I live in Nashville also. But I happened to be there that day, and they were calling Nashville trying to find out where to reach me. And they finally reached me, and they said, well, we've got a song, we'd love for you to sing on. Would you be interested in it? I said, well, yes. Where are you? And they said, we're down at Lionshire Studios here on so-and-so. And I said, well, I'll be right down.
45 minutes later, she came marching in the studio as only Dolly can do, and the song was never the same after that.
When we were hearing each other through those headphones, that it just resonated just throughout your tissues, and it's like, oh, my Lord, this is like, it was really an experience. It really was. I just thought our voices are great together.
Islands in the stream, that is why we are the one in between. How can we be loved?
Islands in the Stream became one of Kenny's biggest hits. People not only loved the song, but they loved Kenny and Dolly together.
There was a great deal of electricity between us, and it was because she's married and I was married, and we never used it, but it was always that energy there, and everybody thought there was something there, but there never was.
But people just like us together. They just think that we're a couple.
I can say anything to Dolly. She can say anything to me.
And we do. We say anything about anything. We're always, even like when we were traveling together, it's like if I had on too much makeup, he'd say things like, well, don't you think you need to put on a little more makeup? Or if he was getting fat, I'd say, don't you think you need to go get that liposuction machine out?
I cannot get mad because I know it comes from love.
If we didn't love each other so, it wouldn't have been. But it was just funny to us because it's just that kind of love that's almost brutal.
I tell you, every night when I mention her name, she gets great applause.
I'll always be grateful to Barry for suggesting me. I would have thought that would have been Kenny that suggested it, but no.
In 1983, Kenny received the biggest advance in the history of record deals from RCA, $21 million, and for several years he rode the crest of the biggest wave Nashville had ever seen. But with the rise of the Hat Acts in the late 80s, Nashville fell out of love with Kenny Rogers. Thankfully, his millions of fans and worldwide success ensured a slow ride down from the heights of superstardom.
I think that's what I was lucky. I came at a great time to have enough people know me, follow me, and my success was worldwide. But what I've learned, it's really important, is the longer it takes you to hit the peak of your career, the longer your glide ratio down.
Unfortunately, the glide ratio of Kenny's marriage to Mary Ann wasn't as smooth a descent, and by 1993, the couple's fairy tale romance was over.
I think it's possible to fall in and out of love. I believe that, and maybe something triggers both occasions.
Like most fairy tales, they come to an end sooner or later, at least the book ends.
For me, it was like they were married and everything was okay, and then they weren't. And the surprising part was that I think because he was gone so much, it just went very smoothly. It was like, he was not in the house that much to begin with, and so they actually handled it really well. I had talks with each of them, and that was sort of it.
As deep as it can go in my heart, I love this woman.
On a very special, noteworthy at the Opry.
Are you still the worst poker player in the world?
Yes.
Other question is, would you like to be the newest member of the Grand Ole Opry?
Wow. Yes, I would. Wow.
These are moments that are noteworthy at the Opry. Celebrate the induction of Darius Rucker with Martina McBride, Little Jimmy Dickens, and more. Encore, Tuesday at 9 on GAC. Luke Bryan, Hot Southern Nights. 8 cities, over 100,000 fans. And you can only see it on GAC.
We're filming a TV special for GAC here tonight.
Luke Bryan Farm Tour premieres Wednesday night at 10 Eastern on GAC.
Liquid Plumber Double Impact. Double Impact.
I'm here to snake the drain.
I'm here to flush the pipe.
Liquid Plumber Double Impact has twice the drain clearing power with a plumber snake to grab deep clogs and a powerful gel to finish off the rest, baby. Liquid Plumber Double Impact.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm on it. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Kevin.
Thanks, Melinda.
Wait, I have blah blah insurance, so person, come help.
Hey, Grandma. Now look who it is.
I see who it is.
6 callers ahead of us, Jimmy.
You're not helping.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you anytime, anywhere, anyway. That's getting to a better state.
Ziploc presents ZipLogic. We throw out over $500 in food every year. Help save more of it with Ziploc freezer bags featuring Smart Zip. Edge-to-edge protection you can hear. Get Ziploc and get more out of it.
S.C. Johnson, a family company.
When was the last time something made your jaw drop? Campbell's 24 new soups that will make it drop over and over again. From jam and jerk chicken to creamy Gouda bisque. See what's new from Campbell's. It's amazing what soup can do.
You don't disappear at midnight. And now you've met your match.
Revlon Color Stay 16-hour eyeshadow. 64 colors that will take you from night to day without smudging, creasing, or fading away.
This is America. We don't let frequent heartburn come between us and what we love. So if you're one of them people that gets heartburn and then treats day after day, block the acid with Prilosec OTC. And don't get heartburn in the first place.
One pill each morning, 24 hours, zero heartburn.
Dull skin, sun damage, age spots, dark marks. They all add up to a less than perfect complexion. But your skin could look so much better. Announcing the #1 selling dark spot corrector from Proactive that's designed to help fade discoloration, brighten skin tone, and erase dark marks and sunspots to give you beautiful, even-toned skin.
It makes my skin look flawless. You can't even tell there was ever a blemish or a dark spot there.
Order Proactive today to heal your acne and help prevent future breakouts for only $19.95. And the amazing dark spot corrector is yours free.
Within the first week of using it, I could tell a difference on just the evenness of my skin tone and getting rid of those dark spots.
Act fast to get the dark spot corrector and these great free extras. An $82 value for only $19.95.
People have asked me, you have really nice skin. What have you done? Proactive, that's always the answer.
Call 1-800-579-1290 because having clear, flawless skin just got easier with Proactive.
Kimberly's Simply Southern, Saturdays at 1 on GAC.
You're still a hell of a singer, but a broken man, but you'll keep on looking for one last thing to sing to.
For Kenny Rogers, the 1980s brought some of the highest highs and lowest lows of his career. He'd gone from arguably the biggest star in the world to a frustrated artist without a record deal. By 1993, he also found himself without a wife. His fourth marriage to Mary Ann was over, and Kenny, now in his mid-50s, appeared to be in the throes of a full-blown midlife crisis. But one night, as he sat in an upscale Atlanta restaurant, it seemed things might be looking up, at least in his love life, when he noticed a beautiful young hostess named Wanda Miller.
Kenny came in, and he was on a blind date. I don't know if I can say that, but he was.
She walks by, and she just has the most beautiful smile. And to this day, she smiles, and I just smile. I can't help it.
He called the restaurant, spoke to my manager, and said, how old is she? I saw her there tonight.
This is pretty tacky, but I said, well, how old is she? She said, I think she's 21. I said, I can't do 21. So I hung up, and I let it go, and I forgot all about it. He called me back about 3 or 4 hours later, and he said, hey, I found out she's 26. I said, I can do 26.
So then he just called back, and we met and had dinner. It was really fun.
From the moment we started dating, you hear people say this. There was no question in my mind that we were soulmates. As deep as it can go in my heart, I love this woman. I love everything about her.
Wanda is wonderful. She is an absolute sweetheart, and she is one of the best things that's ever happened to him.
We dated for 5 years before we got married. We've been married 15 years. We've been together 20 years.
She has brought a life and an energy to him that is just great.
It turned out to be really, one of the best relationships of his life and the relationship that I think carries through the rest of his life.
With Wanda at his side, Kenny navigated the next few years of his professional life in other ways. He continued to make successful TV movies and developed a Broadway play, The Toy Shop. Kenny also kept up his work in photography, which he developed a passion for early in his career.
He's kind of been doing all these things anyway. He's been writing stuff, he's been taking pictures, he's always been doing something creative.
When Kenny does something, the tennis, the photography, there's only one way to do it. All the way.
Yeah, his ability to, and willingness, I think, is a strong thing, too, because I think a lot of people find that difficult to let go of sort of who they were and just say, all right, well, try something new. And I think he's great with that.
Still, even at that time in his career, he was still doing 90 dates, 100 dates a year. I mean, he's always just been a workaholic.
Ultimately, nothing would keep the sweet music man away from his music for long. In 1999, Kenny released a new single called The Greatest, a baseball-themed story song by Don Schlitz, who'd written The Gambler over 2 decades earlier.
Little boy in a baseball hat stands in the field with his ball and bat.
What he did with The Greatest was he found another song that was Kenny Rogers.
It hit the charts, and it climbed and climbed. It was just a validation. He was just on top of the world again.
The ball goes up and the ball comes down, swings his bat all the way around. The world's so still you can hear the sound. The baseball falls to the ground.
I went with him to Boston to play at an all-star game, and I remember watching him, watching the response he got, and that's when I sort of knew that, oh my God, he's sort of back in the spotlight.
Kenny's season in the spotlight continued with his follow-up release of Buy Me a Rose. Its rise to #1 just might be attributed to Kenny's ability to communicate what every man wants to say and what every woman wants to hear.
When I heard the song, I thought, you can't pass up on that song. That is what every woman would like to hear. So I really urged him because I just thought that song was perfect.
Buy me a rose, call me from work, open a door for me, what would it hurt? Show me you love me by the look in your eyes. These are the little things I need most in my life.
There's only 2 ways you can compete in this business. You do what everybody else is doing, and you do it better. Or you do something nobody else is doing, and you don't invite comparison. If you look at The Greatest, if you look at Buy Me a Rose, nobody was doing those when they came out.
This hour of GT is brought to you by Roche, the makers of the new AccuCheck Nanometer.
AccuCheck Nano fits into my life. 23% more accurate, feels so right. AccuCheck Nano, you're the one I choose.
Ask your healthcare professional for the new AccuCheck Nano today.
Red Lobster's hitting the streets to tell real people about our new 15 under 15 menu.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, this looks amazing.
Our new mainstays, 15 entrees under $15, seafood, chicken, and more.
Oh, the tilapia with roasted vegetables.
I'm actually looking at the wood grill chicken with portobello wine sauce.
That pork chop was great.
No more fast food Fridays. We're gonna go to Red Lobster.
Come try our new menu and see food differently. And introducing 7 lunch choices for just $7.99, salads, sandwiches, and more.
Hey there!
Oh.
Hi there! Hi there! Did I surprise you?
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, I'm surprised you're getting that brand of tomato. They're peeled with chemicals.
What?
Hunt's is the only leading brand that uses flash steam to peel their tomatoes. Steam is made with...
water?
You're a genius.
I'm gonna taste it and I'll be the judge of that. Ooh, look at you.
Good stuff, right? Very good.
You made that?
That's delicious.
That's Hunt's?
That's Hunt's. Isn't it time to take a fresh look at your tomatoes?
We go laughing over. And Sally's singing again.
It's a tradition, honey. Spirits bright, what fun it is to...
Make new traditions with Pillsbury Grand Cinnamon Rolls.
Come on, wait for me. There it is. Ah, hurry up.
You're heavy. Are you sure these letters will get to Santa? Yes, of course. Hold still. Almost there. A little bit higher. I can't hold it much longer. Ah!
Hi, fellas. Hi, Virginia. Why are you on the floor?
Bring your letter to Santa into Macy's, and we'll donate to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Together, we'll collect 1,000,000 reasons to believe.
Now that's card-worthy.
All right, here we go. Card-worthy.
Card-worthy.
So not card-worthy.
Go to Shutterfly.com for all your card-worthy moments. And now, get up to 40% off.
Says I am the greatest. Game is on the line, and he gives his all one last time.
Kenny Rogers has spent a lifetime giving his all to his career and his fans. But by his own admission, Kenny's ambition in the 70s and 80s deeply hurt his relationships with sons Christopher and Kenny Jr., and he's worked hard to restore them. Today, Kenny is devoted to being a different kind of father to Justin and Jordan, the twin sons he fathered at age 66.
I've tried to be the father my father wasn't, because he never went to see me sing, never went to see me play ball, never went to see me do anything. And I've sworn I won't do that I will be there for them. And I think they'll have to admit that, limited as I am, I drive them to school every morning. And I don't pick them up every day, but I try to pick them up when I can. So we have our time together.
It is really sweet because every morning he cannot wait. He just can't wait for those moments with them, and I think that's sweet. He's dedicated. Every morning he's here, he wants to take them.
As the boys are growing up, as we call them, the twin tornadoes, he has a little more free time. He has a little more sit around the house time, and I think that's helped a lot.
They're a lot of fun to hang out with. They wear me out within 20 minutes, so I get good naps when I go back. But they're blessed, and I'm sure they're great to keep him young and energized.
I'm starting to realize I'm immortal, that I'm mortal, because I've always thought, well, when that happens, I'll be here. But I realize all of a sudden I'm not going to be, and that gets sad for me. That I won't be here when they're teenagers, and I won't get to enjoy success.
Whatever years are left of Kenny Rogers' life and career remains to be seen, but one thing is certain, he'll never stop transforming himself in order to gain new fans.
He makes a habit of reinventing himself, of finding new ways to approach what he does. He's always trying to keep it fresh and interesting and exciting, especially for him, and then especially for his fans.
He's still got a lot to say. I think he's still got a lot to say.
Quality. So I wouldn't be surprised at anything that Kenny might start doing right now.
We've already got plans next year to put him on some of the big international rock festivals. Kenny fits in everywhere.
He's done stuff with, like, Coolio and Fish. I mean, I guess he could have a show on the Home Shopping Network with Metallica or something. I don't know, maybe take up origami.
Who knows? We may have a hit record tomorrow. I wish we would.
He loves it still. I don't see him ever giving that part of his life up.
But it's true. I love what I'm doing. And I would like to be remembered as a guy who cared about his audience, cared about his music, and cared about his family.
With family foremost in his mind, Kenny takes a very different approach to balancing his career these days. It's an approach that took decades of great success and deep disappointment to learn, but one that keeps Kenny's twin sons at the top of his fan club.
Wanda kept saying, let them see these parts of your life, because it'll be sad if they don't ever see that. They come on stage with me when they're on the road. But I brought them to the studio, and they were just so enamored with this thing. And I was singing this song, and when I finished it, they're both in there just clapping like this. And then Jordan said, Dad, you have a good voice. What else is there?
I do not know why Kenny Rogers is not in the Hall of Fame.
Kenny Rogers not in the Country Music Hall of Fame? Huh? Really?
Some people they put in there, and I think, wow, how did they get in there so soon? Or I wouldn't have thought about them.
I look forward to Kenny being inducted in the Country Music Hall of Fame. He certainly belongs there.
You can't be an icon like Kenny and not eventually be included.
Kenny definitely should be in the Hall of Fame.
I think he should be in every Hall of Fame there is.